Yosi. This is my jam. When I'm depressed about to kill myself, I listen to this. Buenas noches a todos. Mi nombre es Yosimar. I'm 1/3 of La Mari Colectiva. Thank you so much for having us today. We drove from the Bay. Any Bay Area folks in here? In Las Vegas? Yeah, they're here. So we have a bunch of Jota poems that we want to share with y'all. Because we heard you guys are queer. And of color. So y'all know we do it better. I have this piece that I wrote for my aunties. How many of you have crazy tías? So, I grew up in San Jose, East Side San Jose, to be exact, so you know not to fuck with me. I just gotta put it out there. And so I grew up with a bunch of, un montón de mujeres, you know, mis tías, mi tía Rosi, you know, they have all crazy names, you know, call them different names, mi tía Cuca and all that shit. So I think they were the ones that taught me how to be a queer. And they're Mexican, so real tragic queer. And so it goes like this, in honor of them, because they're all back home watching la novela, Llena de Amor. So it's in honor of them. I was born with the heart of a woman. I know that's some bullshit to say, but sometimes I feel like this is the truth of my nature. Yo crecí en una casa de puras mujeres. Mi abuelito was the only male figure around, but he kept to himself, only speaking when someone was really in trouble. He drank a lot. Maybe that's why, for the most part, everybody always left him alone. Mi abuela's house has always been a place of refuge. Whenever mis tías got into it with their husbands, they would come to mi abuela's house to spend the night. Abuelita would always open the door and always advise them to work it out, because for her, a single immigrant woman with kids in this country needed the protection of a man, and that is why she always advised them to go back no matter how bad the situation was. She knew about struggle, about being beaten, about being cheated on, but for her, this was survival. To her, we were far away from home, and the bills were constant enough to keep one slave to labor. Some of my tías would stay for weeks at a time, even though they lived relatively close, because most Mexicans live within radius of one another. It's called poverty. Since most did not work and relied on their husbands for money, they would spend the day around the house. They kept busy, they would clean, cook, and do laundry. I never saw any of them simply sitting and watching TV. In fact, the TV was never on. They always had the radio on blast. They always had the radio on blast, listening to the radio station and calling in to make dedications. This is where my primas learned the bad habit to call in to make dedications to their homies in La Pinta. I always remember waking up to loud-ass music and the smell of pine sol. Because it was real cheap, right? Before Fabuloso came into it. They always scream, gordo, ya párate, vas a llegar tarde a la escuela. It was 7 in the morning and there would be hard scrubbing the linoleum floor. I got ready, went to school, came back, and their asses would still be cleaning. The radio would still be on blast, playing mopey-ass songs that made me drowsy or reminded me of that one summer I was forced to go work construction with my stepdad so I can learn how to be an alleged man. I fucking hated waking up at 5 in the morning, all cold, in the radio playing Ramon Ayala's Tristes Recuerdos. It was too fucking early for that shit. They would clean thoroughly as if they were cleansing their own souls. Cleaning gave them peace. It kept them from thinking about their failed marriages, how incomplete they felt. They scrubbed the windows, the toilet, the bathtub. To them, everything felt dirty, and I just watched them as if they were shedding all these stains from their own bodies. I think I learned how to love from them. Listening to Marisela, Los Bookies, Los Temerarios. All this music that to me was really Mexican. Songs about longing, about despair, about loves that could never be. Mis tías would sing these songs con sentimiento, like if they were reliving these same narratives, and I always wonder why they felt so alone. Why they chose to love men that never loved them back. Why they chose to birth children for men that always ran away. I never understood how my tías in all their beauty could fall in love for men that could never step up to the plate. I'm a queer brown boy trying to understand why the women in my family have loved so blindly. Why even now, as an alleged man, I still follow these same patterns of loving. Although this time I love in a different tune. I spend my days listening to R&B tracks that would have anyone guessing I'm a single black female on the inside. There is something about the way Mary J sings about Badu's next lifetime that hits close to home, even how tragic Fantasia is. I love Fantasia. Keep her in prayer. The cadence in their voices that makes my heart flutter, that reminds me and makes me wish for a certain someone that would make me feel whole, only I'm more critical now or jaded if we must state the obvious. It seems to me that as we grow up, our hearts are slowly chipped to the point that we now love with walls around them. We love in fragments because we are afraid to give everything we have left, but we have left broken pieces of innocence where every other man that broke their promises, starting with our own fathers. Mis tías taught me how to love in silence. How to show your affection for the men you love, not in words, but in action. Not through servitude, but shit that is intentional, like cooking, like folding his clothes, like rubbing his back. Shit that is domestic, but to them was the only way to express their affection towards their partner. Now, I'm not the type of bitch that will cook for you. I'll fold your clothes. But I have noticed that the way I love is without words, even as a poet. The things I do for people I love are intentional. Shit like sharing my knowledge, the lessons life have taught me, books I read, things to build strong spirit. Time and time again I have offered my love and medicine to men who have not necessarily known how to appreciate it, but for me it felt healing to give. I look at my tías, and the way they dance, the way they laugh, the way they kiss my tíos, the way they do things around the house, and I wonder if one day I could be them. If one day I could love a man the way they do without any critical analysis, without expectation, simply love in this state of nothingness, in this state of struggle. I wonder when I'll stop loving men who are not really men. When my loving will not be a tool of survival, but a conscious choice of my making. Our friends once told me, just because our mothers loved out of necessity does not mean we have to. Mis tías have taught me so much. Many how to walk away and come to the middle for understanding. It is for them that I owe my voice, and for them that I seek a love that is pure and innocent. We have loved through genocide, through wars, through migration, and even death. It is this love that has given us the hope to keep on living. Muchas gracias.